Oh, howdy. Howdy, Decision. Just letting you know ahead of time, I'm about to just record videos on stream. So if I stop what I'm doing and talk, that's so I can chop that out and then just keep going on with the video. Okay, so if you, that's a horrible way to start it. If you want to make a mushroom in Blender for Roblox, what you gotta do is you gotta first add mesh cylinder. Oh, I gotta do screencast. Hey, error. Screencast keys. Okay. Just so y'all can see what's going on. I gotta restart this. Add mesh cylinder. Go to add cylinder. Change these vertices to 8. Oh, here. It's all good. So you can grab the bottom of it, extend it out a little bit, then right here pull it in, and then go straight up and extrude. And what you can do at the end of it is you can extrude it again, grab, pull up a little bit. You could Shift Z and pull it around a little bit, and then you can grab the edge, bevel this one as well, and then shade smooth, normals, auto smooth, 45. Okay, so from here what we got to do is we have to grab another cylinder, scale it out, pull it up, pull down, scale it out again, trying to get this right. Then we can grab the face at the top, pull it up, shrink it in a little bit, up, shrink in, up, shrink in, up, S0, right? So now we gotta go tab AS, scale it out for Z, S, shift Z, and then Z again. I'm trying to get this right. It's the first time I've done a mushroom, by the way. Gotta bear with me here. I just saw it in the comment sections. Sorry, not Haiti. Howdy me play game. Proportional editing. You can go S, mouse wheel down so you can go out a little bit, and you can just scale in from the top. Pull this down. I don't like how far that is. Pull it up a little bit. There we go. That's what I wanted. And then we can shift smooth, auto smooth, 45. Alright. Then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to grab this face at the bottom, bevel it. And so when you do this and you just do a bevel on a face, it's not going to bevel it properly. So what we have to do is we have to grab this G, Z, pull it down a little bit. So now we got a mushroom, right? And I guess we could just scale this down a little bit more. We have to pull it up. Alright, cool. So now we got a mushroom. So now when you have a normal mushroom, what you're going to do is you're going to want to put some spots around it. So we're going to grab a cylinder, and we're going to move the vertices down to 6 because this is even less important. And we're going to delete the face on the bottom to save some vertices. Sorry, not vertices, triangles. Then we're going to A, S, Shift Z, scale it out, grab this, scale it in a little bit, boom. Alright, now we just need to shade smooth that. And then, oh, actually, we gotta extrude this as Z so it doesn't have this weird little effect at the top. So what we can do now is we need to scale this down, rotate, and we just need to fit this across the mushroom from place to place. I'm gonna scale it along the Z-axis here. Oh, R90, that way we can just do it like this. Is that in properly? It's hard to see. Let me go solid. X, just rotate it again, scale down, X, R90, drag it around for a second, let's get it back in the same spot, scale it up, Shift D, 90 on the rotate, and we can do it again. So now what we can do is we can just go around and try to get them to look a little bit more random. So for example, this one we're going to pull a little bit down, then we're going to drag it over, rotate a little bit, so it should be a little bit more randomized now. Take this one around, scale up, this one around, scale up. Because you just have it on each corner, it's going to be clear that there wasn't much effort put into this. And then after we do this, we're going to need about one, maybe two more. So we can do from here is we can go on the Y, shift, there we go. Just keep rotating it for a second. Get this in the right spot. Look good right there, look good right there. Alright, we're all good. Scale it, move it down. And so this is going to end up looking a lot better once we get into the actual place lap. Move along the z-axis. Alright, cool. Now what you want to do is you want to grab all of these little spots on the mushroom. Almost missed that one. File, Export, OBJ, Selection Only, Desktop. Sorry, you don't have to do desktop. You can put this wherever you want in your files. This is where I put all my stuff at on stream. You wouldn't do mushroom 1. Or at least that's what I do. I like to separate everything by numbers and what the object name is. So right here I do mushroom 2. And then here, oh, we can delete this face, by the way. And here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. File, Export, OBJ, mushroom 3. So now what we want to do is we want to go back over to Studio, Mesh Part, put it in, Mesh ID, mushroom 1. Yes for the location. If you have more than one item you're trying to import, you want to do that so that way they stay aligned. And then the third one, boom. And this isn't like a thing you have to do, this is optional, but I just like changing all this to smooth plastic from plastic. That way it doesn't have the little grittiness. Can you see it right here? You can see it a little bit. Let me even turn it gray so you can see it better. That, if you turn it to smooth plastic, it gets rid of that. So now what we do with this is we can do a lightish tan color for the base. We could grab a darker red right here, and then these on the top could be white, but you don't want them too white, because if you have them too white, they almost blind you. Right? You see that little shine coming off of them? So if we do it something along the lines of this, perfect. And that's a mushroom. We can use the move tool. We can click off scale, so it scales just down without being scaled on a grid. And now we got a mushroom. Anybody got any ideas on anything else to make or no? I'll make a couple variations of this too, actually. The hue is 230. There we go. Anybody got any ideas on any other models? Meshes, I mean. Slide this over right here. Boom. Oh, I got some cartoonish looking ones. And what you could also do is you could make these to where you can bounce off of them. And if these look weird, these little mushroom pieces, it's because they're on automatic and not precise. Oh, no it's not. They just look weird. Oh, it does look weird. That's fine. It's a model. It's going to be smaller than that, so it's fine. Alrighty, boys. What else we got? I'm trying to go off of what the comments say normally on the videos. So if you have any ideas, I do read all the comments on the videos. So if you want to make something and I'm not streaming, just comment on there. Can you tell me what you're making? I was making a mushroom model. And then I changed now to where I'm wondering what the viewers want to see. So what y'all, if y'all want me to model anything, just let me know. I'm just doing little models. Zeh, I'm doing, I think it's Zeh. Z-E-H. I'm doing good. How are you doing, man? Let me see if there's anything low poly that I haven't seen in a while. Simulator walls, that sound good? If there isn't anything already in there. I can make some simulator walls real quick. A stone/gem asset pack. Okay, so you mean like a like an ore? Let me find a reference picture. Stone, gem, low poly. Low poly is normally what Roblox is anyway, so I'm just going off that. Do you mean something along the lines of like this? Okay, got you. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to first make a rock. So what you could do is you could use this rock generator plugin that comes pre-installed with Blender. And you could... Sorry, I was reading the comments. You could turn the detail level down to 1, roughness Probably want to turn that up actually. 5. Deformation 1. Yeah, that's pretty good. Display detail. Detail doesn't matter on display. No, number of rocks. That should be good. Okay, so now what we got is we can just do all this, and then we can grab this, scale it out, go to the smooth tool, turn it to the randomize tool, randomize it just a little bit, go back to modify tool, subdivide it, go back, decimate it, right? So we can knock it down 118, then we can knock this down even more. Oh, that one don't look right. So we could pull this down. Okay, now we're good. And what we can do from here is, since we need to make what do you call it? We need to make gems. Yeah, gems. We can take a, would a cylinder work? Icosphere would probably be better. Pull this icosphere up, scale it up, wireframe, this right here, delete the vertices. Oh, F to fill that in. And then what we can do from here is we can just subdivide, apply, subdivide again, apply. Probably should subdivide twice. I don't know why it took so long to realize that. And we can just subdivide one more time, decimate, shade smooth, but then you want to go to your normals and change it to like 25. Yeah, 25 looks good. No, 30. 30, the default would be good. As well as here. Oh, I already do it here? That's what I'm paying attention. Alright. And then what we can do is we can just pull this down and just rotate it around. And this would be pretty much the same process as it is with the mushrooms and the little white spots, where it's just you rotate it around a couple times and just try to make it look all randomized. So there, pull it over, stick out a little bit. Bang. I'll move this one over so that way it don't look as convoluted. Bop. Alright. So now what we can do from here is we can press A, double shift click on that, file, export, obj, gem or 1, hide those so that way we know what we exported. Go right here, gem or 2, then we're good. We go back to studio, and you can, actually I should probably do this. Mesh part, click on the mesh part. You press F to zoom into it, just out of force of habit. Then I go down to gem or, location, yes. F to find it, Control D, and then you go to gem or 2, location, yes. And then we can paint this gray, and then we could paint this like a purple color. And then we turn this to something along the lines of glass, up the reflectance a bit. And then what we would do with this is, if you want to make it smooth plastic, you can, which is what I would recommend doing. Let me do this because that's going to be hard to highlight. Or what you could do is you could grab this and just look at the other materials. It really depends on the art style for your game. I don't think I'd recommend rock. That's pretty bad. Pebble, no. Do they still have would asphalt work? Asphalt's pretty bad. What would be a good one? Slate still a thing? Slate would be best, yeah. And then maybe you can make this, you could increase transparency a little bit. You get a little bit creative with this. You have a nice little ore, but since I'm going for low poly, that's the ore we'd go with. Thoughts, opinions, concerns? What are we thinking, boys? I want to turn all these assets into a game at some point. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. What'd you think of Decision? I hope Decision's the right way to say it. Thank you, Alpha. Oh, by the way, I'm going to end up making a Discord for all this. I'm just going to make all the assets free. A Fireball asset pack. Let me look up a low poly Fireball first so I make sure I do this right. If I have a reference picture, I can pretty much do anything. Oh, okay, that don't seem too hard. Yeah. So what I would do for a Fireball is you would want it to not just be unless you want it to be, do you want it like, if you want it to be like a particle, let me know while I'm making this. But if you don't, this is how you would make it. This is how I would make it at least. I'd make an icosphere, 2 subdivisions, of course, wireframe, and then I would cut this part off, get rid of all these vertices. I would fill this top in, so I'd highlight these F, go back to material preview. Then I'd grab this face, oh, not extrude, subdivide, subdivide, and then I would go here, triangulate. Normally, triangulate messes. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And then we could go subdivision, decimate the subdivision, and we go double subdivision again. I like doing subdivisions and decimating. It makes me feel a lot more confident on these. And then you can just drag these middle pieces up randomly. These want to be top more on the top. That's annoying that it doesn't do what I thought it was gonna do. There we go. That's more along the lines of what I wanted. So, you know, up, up. I'm gonna grab this down. I use a knife tool, by the way, there on that line, and then connect it to another piece just so I could have that vertice to pull down. Up, down, down, up, up. I'm making a fireball. Then we can grab this, pull it down, grab this, pull it up, pull down here. Then we'll grab, actually we could do this, and it'd probably be a lot easier than using the knife tool just to pull down. We could shade smooth, auto smooth, 45 would probably look a little bit better. And then what we could do from here is we would need to do a little bit of UV mapping. So we could go right here. Also, I'm going to grab these and pull these up a little bit more. I'm just going to scale it and pull up. That way it looks more like a fireball. Oh, that's a little bit messed up. Hold up. Subdivide and decimate. Boys, when in doubt, subdivide and decimate. Alright, I need to pull some of this down. Proportional editing always saves the day. Is there one right here? Okay, that's going to save a lot of Z fighting. Alright, cool. So now we can go and do the image texture. So if you don't know, I mainly use, let me open a tab real quick. I mainly use this thing, if I look up Roblox grid texture, it normally shows up one of the first ones, or it'll be gradient grid. Okay, that's Roblox gradient texture. Here it is. So I would grab this, save image as, it's 256 by 256 pixels, which is really low. It's like, what, 1/8 or 1/16 of the, of HD. So I would go and grab that, image texture, or sorry, base color image texture, open, and then I would open, I'm assuming this is it. It's not, oh, it's not it, is it? Okay, I don't know what it's named, to be honest. What's it named? 387. So then we would grab that, and so since we've already projected from view, we can drag over, turn on proportional editing, we could drag over to something like this, or actually no, this is a good spot. Scale down, and then SZ, and we're getting more along the lines of fireball now. But I'm going to turn back on proportional editing. We're going to scale it down, and we're going to use it to pull up. That way the top of it will be more along the lines of the yellow, and the bottom will be more red. It'll look more along the lines of a grid than it would normally. Like that. And that's how I'd make a low poly fireball. So if I go File, Export, OBJ, Fireball, Mesh part. F. Fireball location, yes. And then you can move up. Boom, fireball. But realistically, if I was going to make a fireball for the sake of time, and since it would look better, I would just look up fireball particle effect. And I just use Toolbox for this, in all honesty. You can, normally what I do is I look up a particle pack for when I try to find particles for a game. So something along the lines of this would work. And then you just go over to it and you just, oh, this one kind of sucks. Yeah, not that one. Not that one. I think it's the one, yeah, it's the one I normally use. You usually can find anything you want right here. Like if you want a bunch of fireballs and like a low poly, this would be good. Normal fire, that. You can pretty much get any of this. So also what I was going to do was I was going to show all of the plugins I use for a video, and I was going to explain what each one of them did that I do think is useful. So for starters, I use this Studio Build Suite. I only use it for one thing, and that's for if I have something like this, it's a mesh, and I want to scale it down. So what I'll do is I'll go SBS, click on this, resize center, and when I scale it down like this, it flattens out, right? You can't do that with the normal one. You can do that with the normal resize tool. Thank you, Perseverance. And then another one I use all the time is I would use character tools. I would create a base character, and if I need to put clothing on a character, I would open the Roblox catalog. So we can go over to Marketplace, Clothing. So this would be a shirt. So I would copy this ID right here, go over to Studio, and then I would go to Shirt, Apply. Since it's one of these new shirts that are 3D, it doesn't really work as well. So what I would recommend doing would be going over to something like Classic Shirt and grabbing its IDs instead, and then using this ID, because this usually applies way better than the other ones. Next on what I use is I use Rope Masters. Now Rope Masters is a fairly unique plugin that I don't see many developers use. What's going on? Oh, my thing broke. So a problem with that last plugin is when you use it, it breaks your mouse, so you have to leave the slot you're on or the place you're working on and then re-enter it. That's the only downside. So the ropes plugin though, you want to have 2 beams or just 2 spots you want to hang a rope from. And when you open Rope Master, you get to choose electric cable, fiber rope, police tape, steel cable, and a tune rope, right? So normally what I'm using it for is I'm using it for an electric cable for something like power lines. So I would begin drawing, click from here to here, and it creates a rope. Now if you don't want as bendy of a rope, one is it doesn't bend at all, and then anything past it starts bending. So if I do 0.01, it'll just do a little bit of a bend. And it's usually pretty good on polygons as well. So right there it only uses 3 cylinders. So if I go 1.05, it'll start using more cylinders. It just the further along you go, the nicer it has to smooth it out, so it's going to cost more and more. But normally you don't want something that's drooping over the ground. The next thing I use is I use the Add Easy Texture plugin. And so what it will do is it will, when you open it, you'll see all these textures. And what I like to do is I like to look around on all these. So say I wanted to make grass. I would go through these, I'd scroll through until I found a good one. So let's just stop. I'm assuming one of these green ones. Yeah, this. You click on that and it applies a texture. And what it does is, since it's a texture, it will turn the transparency down to where the color won't matter for you automatically. And now what we can do is, instead of this being purple grass, we can change this to any color grass. See, we can change it to yellow if we wanted to. We could darken the yellow so you can see it a little bit better. And then if you want to put a new texture on it, you don't have to delete the texture on it. You can just go and click on another. And it has so many textures in this. Any texture pack you can find that's just sitting around on blocks, it'll be in this plugin. And if it isn't, you can go right here. Or is it right here? You can go, there's somewhere right here. Here it is. Add custom texture to list. And then you just have to insert a part, put the texture on it, and then click on the part, and it'll extract the texture out of it, and boom, new texture. Next is the part to terrain tool. So when I have to make anything with terrain, I usually like scaling it out a little bit. So let's say I do this, and I want a little bit of a ramp up somewhere, like right here. And then I want to lead on to another part again. So what I would do here is I would go, okay, cool, part of terrain time. Okay, let's make some grass, 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 grass. And it ramps up to it. You don't need to give me Robux. I'm going to make a Discord server within the next couple of days and put all these assets on it. Don't even worry about paying me. I don't need the money for this. It's pretty much no work. Next, what I use is I use the brush tool. And what I can do is I can click on a part. I can go right. I got to get rid of these default ones first. You can go right here. So say you want a tree, but you know you want to keep moving around, rotate, scale it. You could do random. What I like to do is I like to do 0.8, and then on this one, 1.2. No wobble because that messes up the way the model looks. And then for the rotation, I always put random and put it negative 360 and 360. You can change the radius to whatever, and the spacing will be how many studs in between each part spawns. So I can go right here, and it's all different scale typed of trees, and they're all rotated a little bit differently, and it's boom, it's perfect. And if it's on a slope, like say if it was a wedge, and I were to go, oh, activate brush, it puts it on the wedge. Yes, I will, Alpha. What's next? I like Atmos. Atmos is a very good plugin. So what I can do with Atmos is I have a little lighting thing I worked on this play slot, and if I want to change it out for something else like this, I can. It will change the atmosphere and everything with it. So like if I wanted this clouded sky, it gives me a little bit of a yellow. Yeah, you can see how it changed from blue to yellow. Give me like a yellow ambiance. Or if I want to change this deep blue sky, apply, and it'll change this to white to blend with this. It's a very good plugin. Very useful. Alright boys, that was that video. So we have the mushroom video, we have the fireball, and we have the ore video as well as a plugin video. Is there anything else I need to make a video on here that y'all can think of? Or not just make a video, I can just tell y'all whatever y'all need to know. Y'all need to know like some important stuff, like I can just go over stuff that you should know if you're developing a game or whatnot. How do you get more options in Atmos? You have to go and pay 100 Robux for the paid version, which is what I have. And it only gives you these. There might be a way to add more, but I'm unaware of it if there is. Oh, that's all there is on the Atmos one. It's just this right here. It's very good though. I haven't had to use any more than these. Is there an anime sky? There isn't, but what I can recommend is if you already have the Atmos plugin, like you just said you did, I would take something that's more along the lines of a blue sky. So something like Peaceful Morning, right? Oh, that's not blue. I thought that was blue. I don't know why I thought that was blue. Uh, you could take a Afternoon Sky. I believe this is blue. Close enough. Alright, so now what I do is I'd look up anime sky and models, and then something like this. There you go, yeah, anime sky now. Oh, you're welcome, Alpha. Anybody else got any questions on anything? Or yeah, Alpha, yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to exclude you on that. Anybody got questions in general? I just realized I said that. I apologize. How did I learn about Blender? So there is, surprisingly enough, this is going to be the weirdest thing you've heard if you don't know about it. if you go onto YouTube, there is a guy who makes a donut in Blender. So if I go right now, Blender donut, right here, you can see it's a 17 part video on Blender 3.0, right? This is the old version. So you want Blender 4.0. This is the new one. And it is all videos that show you how to do almost anything you could want. So right here it shows you the controls. Here's basic modeling, modeling, icing, sculpting, shading, geometry nodes part 2, rendering, layout, lighting, composition, animation, rendering, and then whatever's left over. I don't blame you if you don't want to make a donut, but it is the best way to learn how to use Blender. I think if you want to use it as outside of Roblox, if you want to use it in Roblox, I would recommend going person-to-person tutorial, because I can't recommend myself just yet since I don't have enough videos out. I'm going to need to make a UV editing video at some point, but that's what I got so far, is you just got to go around looking around. Hey, Big Glabo. Yeah. So speaking, since Natalie Claybo's in the chat, actually that might be a good way to learn Blender is watching her tutorial videos. Natalie Claybo has really good tutorial videos. I would recommend those. Those are very good. Like S tier videos. I think I almost failed high school because I was watching her videos. Of course, Big Natalie. If you don't know, Natalie Calabo is a very well-respected member of the community. There is. Oh, you can't hear the music? I've had music on the whole time. I didn't know y'all couldn't hear that. Can y'all hear it better now? Or is it too low? Might be too low. Is that better? Or is that too loud? Okay, cool. So let me know if that's a little bit too loud or not. Let's go, Alpha. Yo, you subbed to me and Natalie? Dude, you'll be a Blender expert in like a week, max. Just gotta grind out them Clabo videos and then come to me. Speed build something? Yo, Natalie, you missed it. I just speed built these, this, and this, and then explained every plugin I have. Every plugin I have that's useful to the majority of Roblox users that are developers. I even try to use the paintbrush tool. I know you say don't use the paintbrush tool, but I like the paintbrush tool. I think it cuts a lot of workflow time. Assemble a fantasy environment with cool lighting using those assets. I would, but I am about to end stream. Walk us through my workflow. I think I'll do that next stream. Because what I want to do is I want to do this stream and then chop it all up into a bunch of different videos. Next stream, what I wanted to do was after this is I want to do I want to build more of an environment, show a little bit more modeling, and then after that I want to make a disaster game like Survive the Disasters, like I was telling you the other day, and then make it more along the lines of Crab Game, where it's all goofy. You should go live, Alpha. Alright, I'm gonna see y'all.